G'day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to an episode of Killer Trades, where I'll be looking at the market for opportunities and you'll be learning a hell of a lot. As always, subscribe to the channel to help us grow. This is a channel built by you for traders to benefit you. And I'm going to start straight away looking at Bitcoin because, as we're all very well aware, well, geez, there's been a fair bit going on with the Strait of Hormuz, with Iran and all that sort of stuff. We're up and down. We're all around. It's the rumor mill is burning up a treat. What does it mean to Bitcoin's price? Well, let me tell you something right now. We're at a pretty crucial point when it comes to price action regarding Bitcoin. Let me take a through a couple of things on Bitcoin first, because it is our Mac Daddy. It is the biggest in the market. Obviously, the biggest market cap sitting at around about 60% of the total market cap right now. And then I'm going to have a rip through this Blowfin list. By the way, get your Blowfin account to join our Discord. The link is below. There's a heap of bonuses there for you right now as well to make it totally worth your while. All right, so looking at Bitcoin right now, we've got a higher low down here. This is the daily chart, a higher low here. We've had a pretty strong rip higher. Now, I'm going to mark in a level right now that's I will extend it out. It's going to be around about 74,000 thereabouts. When I rip this out and jump up now, to the weekly time frame, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about at 74. Let's do this. Righto, there we go. I'm saying it's roughly around 74. It might be just a bee's whisker off, being exact. But look, resistance here, resistance here. Trump won the election here, and whooshka, we saw Bitcoin break through that 74,000 mark to send us to new all-time highs. And of course, we had a pretty decent run from there. And we're back to those levels. Of course, we've dipped below. This is the first test for Bitcoin, in my opinion. We've got this resistance. We are above it. Could it act as support? Well, the daily right now is certainly suggesting that it may do. With a bullish candle, not yesterday, the day before, of closing up 2.8%, let's call it, and breaking the high of that, it does spell to me there is a bit of bullishness available. But can bulls defend that support line? That is what I'm looking for. That is what I'm looking at. And that is what the market is really just hanging by a thread on right now. Now, we did drop a little bit overnight. We haven't seen a great deal of action today on Bitcoin. A bit up, bit of down. You'll see that here on the 4 hour, up, down. Not a great deal going on there. A couple of other things to mention when we talk to the weekly chart. We've got a lower high, a lower low. And we're pulling back right here. We've got good convergence on the MACD. That's what I use, the MACD, just the MACD line. No signal line, no histogram. Why? Well, because it's not worth it. I don't use it for anything like that. And I've got two moving averages, the exponential 10 and the exponential 20. And I've built a 21-year trading career by trading in and around these averages with the MACD. I've stripped a lot from my charts. We'll teach you more about that as time goes on. As you can see over here, there's a little higher low pulled up into the cradle zone and then a big fall. We've had exactly the same sort of thing here, a little higher low and a pull back in. And a lot of people are already starting to call for $300,000 Bitcoin in 2026. And all the bulls are coming out because why? Well, we've had 3 weeks going up. Of course, the bulls return when that occurs. The reality is, however, in every bear market, you will have periods that markets move higher. We've seen that time and time again. So what I'm saying is, whilst, yes, the market is rather bullish at the moment, be cautiously bullish. The good news is that's where traders come in. We don't need to have a bias on any direction. We're able to trade the directional moves within a market. Now, what I'm going to do now is come back to the top and scan this Blowfin list. These are the futures contracts or the margin projects available on the Blowfin platform. And if you want to get this list, it's watchlist.guru and you can download that for free. All right, so what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the moving averages to be in the correct order. And I'm looking for pullbacks. And when I find something that really does capture my attention, I'll commentate on that so that you can start to build up your knowledge of how I look at the markets and how I trade as a 21-year veteran of the sport. Let's call it a sport. Yeah, look, the daily here, there is a bullish candle in there, but I'm looking for a heck of a lot more than what I'm seeing right there. I'm looking to build a watch list for which I will be monitoring throughout the day, because as a trader, my objective is simple. I want to find the way I look at the market, guys. It's very different. As a trader, I'm not looking to go to the market to place trades. You might be thinking, hang on, what on earth are you talking about? And I am watching this as I go through and explain this to you, by the way, looking for opportunities. It's a big list, so I've got to keep moving. What I'm talking about here is I'm not going to the market every day and going, oh, well, where are the trades for me? I'm going to the market as a referee, so to speak. I've got a set of rules that I adhere to. And if those rules are met, well, I'll take a trade. The market presents me with the opportunity. It's a process of elimination. I'm trying to eliminate as many of these charts as I possibly can. And what's left at the end is where I'll be placing my trades for that day if the trading strategy presents itself. Now, coming into AGLD, here's the first example of what I want to show you on my methodology of how I trade. A clear higher low and a higher high, a pull back in. Look at these moving averages. They're fanning out nicely. It's like a peace symbol on an angle, right? Fanning out. They're not like two snakes making love. They're fanned out. They're opened up. They're available. Now, when the market pulls back into these fanned out moving averages, that's where I like to trade. Convergence on the MACD, very, very strong. The next higher time frame from the daily is the 2-day. And what I want to see is exactly the same. A higher low, higher high, so there's an uptrend, pulling back into moving averages that are in the correct order. So for me, AGLD is in a really nice trend. Do I use sloping trend lines? You better believe I don't, because they're a complete subjective waste of time. Sorry to anybody that I've offended, but my job here is to not be your best mate. It's to help you progress as a trader. I can only do that from teaching you through my mistakes. I don't use sloping trend lines, but I do use trend. And the definition of an uptrend is a higher low and a higher high. Now, whilst AGLD is too big of a candle and it doesn't really fit the mold for exactly what I'm looking for, this is the sort of thing that would make it into my watch list if I was here yesterday. So I'll keep on pushing through because I want to find if there are examples of trades that I'm willing to be looking or stalking throughout today. Yesterday was a ripper day, by the way. Man, I came back into the market after some time out. I've had the kids on school holidays and just moving around these time frames, seeing if there's anything that comes in really cleanly. There's not really here. So it's more the daily time frame for 8 pulling back into here. I'll give it more time. Yeah, came back after a week out and found Monero. Man, it just absolutely perfect little breakout trade. Ticked all the boxes. I trade from a checklist strategy. Ticked all the boxes, and I'll show it to you when we get down there, but holy crap. Epic entry back into the market. Okay, so what I'm looking at here is ARC. What I've noticed is there's a little bit of support. See how prices just started delaying down here. It started to get a little bit slowed right up. So I'm going to move down through these time frames and just see, is there a level, a very specific price point, a flat level, a horizontal level where there's 2 tests or more? It's tradable if there's 3. Now, what I've got is I definitely have support, 1, 2, 3. And then I've broken down through that support here. Now, by how much can I accept? I can accept a little break like that. And what I call this, bear with me here, I am Australian and we do have some slang. I call it the bee's dick rule. Why do I call it the bee's dick rule? Quite simply, something you're probably not going to forget. Why is it the bee's dick rule? How big is the bee's dick? Probably pretty bloody small. So the bee's dick rule means if it's just wicked through a little tiny bit, that's okay. Now, this is more like a hornet. I'm not interested in the hornet's winkle. I'm more interested in a little bee's winkle. Now, for me, it's not quite enough. I need to have a very, very specific price point, specific horizontal line. It's the only lines I draw on charts. That is not quite meeting my requirements. So onwards, I march. And you will note, you'll be looking at this going, oh my gosh, he's going through them so quickly. Yeah, I get it. I understand that this might seem like I'm moving through the market really, really quickly. One thing I will add to this is that I've been trading this methodology. I've been trading for 21 years, and I've been trading this very specifically for the last 16 years of my trading career. Again, a beautiful trend, higher high, pulling back. This candle's a little bit too big, but you can see a really nice trend starting to form there, but there's nothing for me to work with just yet. So once you've been doing something for so long, think of the skill set that you have. It takes time to get good, but when you know what you're doing, things become very, very efficient. Now, when you join up to get your Blowfin account and you jump into our Discord community, you'll start to see a lot more of this type of behavior, this type of activity, this type of methodology, this type of trading. And you will start to pick things up, of course. You will then have the knowledge base building and you will be able to scan the markets at a pace that suits you. For me, I'm going through this relatively quickly so I can cover everything for you and try and find the trades available today. Nothing here on, excuse me, banana. It's a clean pullback though. And the purpose here is just to show you, introduce you to the type of markets that I'm looking for in that clean trend. I'm a trend follower. Ooh, look at that. So this is the sort of thing that I wouldn't be touching unless I went to the lower time frames and I saw really good trend cyclicity. Now you'll notice I trade in around these moving averages. Look at when it pulls back in, moves away, pulls back in, moves away, pulls back in, moves away. Now it's not the only thing I do, but there's a lot of layers to that pullback. Those layers become items within a checklist that I trade from. There's nothing there on Bazzy, on the big Baz dog. So we'll keep on moving through. Another one here where you can see the nice clean pullback. This is what I'm after, a nice runaway, setting a new high, a nice clean pullback and a bullish candle in that, what I call the cradle zone. The candle's too large and it is already triggered, so that is not one for today. Just another thing as well. For those that, if we go through this scan and there's not really much there for this immediate moment in time, that's okay. All right. The whole idea of this channel and me being involved here and working with the Killer Trades team as their lead trader and being, putting my time and effort into this, it's not to have you trading every single day, all of the time. There's resistance here. What I'd like to see here is for the price to extend itself, move away, and then pull back into this level. I'm going to put that into my watch list in the blue there, and we'll come back to that at the end because it's got quite a bit of work to do. My objective here is not to have you trading every day. My objective here is to teach you a way that you can find opportunities that are more than likely going to be profitable for you, as opposed to just trading and burning up trading volume. Another nice clean pullback, but it's already broken the high. Yesterday was the day here on Cake. So it's about finding good trades and taking good trades and getting good results, as opposed to let's take trades every single day. No, it's about educating you, building something of value for you. And that's what I think the differentiating factor is going to be. Chili's here, really nice. If that pulls back into here, that will be one that I'll keep an eye on throughout the day. And I will double back on this as well. Yeah, other channels, they just want you to constantly trade. That's the model. Always be trading. And they're not really accountable. They don't care. It's about you taking trades. End of story. That's it. I want you taking trades too, but I want you learning and I want you being profitable as much as you can. Okay. I want you to understand what it is that you're doing. I want you to get a knowledge base that is a skill set that you can use for the rest of your life, and you don't need me to hold your hand. All right. That is what's important here. Now, chain, look at this again, pulls back into these averages, moves away, pulls back in. That was a really nice cradle trade right there and a very good outcome. What I'm looking for here is for it to pull back and give me that, but up here, a small bullish candle in that zone. So that goes into the watch list as well. Yes, it is about providing you with something, the old saying, teach a man to fish, feed him. No, sorry. Give a man a fish and feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed a man for life. That's the game here. That's the objective here. Oh, hello, pretty boy. It's a clean pullback. It's a little bit on the large side, but there's been a lot of volatility lately, so that's okay. I'm going to put DEX into the list there as well on the 16-hour. Yeah, I'm a mad fisherman. I love my fishing. It's that's what I do when I'm not in the markets and I'm not with my kids, or I'm fishing with my kids. But the idea is provide you with a skill set. I've done this for thousands of people all around the world for over a long period of time in different markets. I used to trade foreign exchange, commodities, bonds, stocks, you name it. Now I'm looking here at ENA. It's pulling back in quite cleanly. If I get a small bullish candle here, that could also be an opportunity for me to take a trade later on. But I've focused my attention for the last since 2017, September, July, around that sort of time frame. I put my efforts into crypto. I'll tell you why. When I trade crypto, my risk multiple remains the same. So if I'm risking, say, 1,000 US on a trade in crypto, my upside potential because of the volatility is a lot larger. My downside is still the same if I manage my risk correctly, and if I trade liquid pairs with enough liquidity, the slippage is low and I'm relatively safe. It's not quite there. If I had to pull back into that old level, I would be much more interested. But yeah, foreign exchange, I would be looking for 1-to-1, 2-to-1, so reward multiple from risking 1,000 up to make 1,000. With crypto, the upside potential is enormous, and it's the same amount of risk. So when you look at the trade like that, the opportunity is far greater in crypto than I have had in other markets, and the results have been explosive as well. Thing is you're not always going to get the conditions which produce outstanding big results. There's a saying in trading, 80% of your profits come from 20% of your trades. And you need to keep that in the back of your mind. All right. Now I'm looking at this. If there's a short, a pullback into here could produce that. I'll put that in for a potential short later on today. So you need, that's okay. This is bingo. Check this out. Look at the cyclicity here, the trend, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. I want a small bullish candle, bang on that round number would be ideal, but a small bullish candle in here, that's probably the best chart out of the lot so far. Very clean, very clear, good trend, good motion. That's the sort of thing that I'm looking for. So yeah, the upside potential, the reward potential in crypto it far outpaces any other market that I've traded. I was profitable in those markets. I've been doing this full time for 15. Well, this is my 16th year. First 4 years, I was like everybody else. Going back then as well, we didn't have YouTube. I'd literally sit down with mentors that I would, back in those days, I was in London, make their coffees, make the tea in the morning, and I'd be there in winter at 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m. It was grueling, but I got to learn from some good traders, and that's where I'm at today because of them. Okay, so looking at this, JUP, Jupiter, there's not really the cleanliness of trend. There's a little bit of a pullback. There is a bullish candle starting to form. I will mark that in. I'll make a decision when it comes around to the close there, but it doesn't look too bad. Not as clean as some of the others. And of course, my objective is to find the best trades, to flawlessly execute my trading plan. Yeah, so if you've got any comments, if you've got any questions, please do write them below. If you've got any questions for me, let me know. And of course, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you know when videos are coming out. Hit the notifications on and give this video the old thumbs up. It does help. And since we are building this community together, it is important that you're involved in this and that you have your say, and that's what I want you to do. All right, so we're in the M's. There's not a great deal going on through here at the minute. Again, I am looking first and foremost for that really good cyclical trend, and if I don't have it, I am just skipping straight past it. You can be as ruthless as this, and you should be. Typically, if you go back, again, another nice pullback and a nice move after the cradle zone. If you spend too long looking at a chart, you'll ultimately start to find things that really aren't there. So having the systematic approach of knowing exactly what you're looking for and scrolling through, it does definitely save a lot of time. Nothing there on open. I think today's the end of the ceasefire or the conversation around the Iran situation. The good thing about trading, though, guys, is that it doesn't really matter. You just trade the direction. Good downtrend, but not really what I'm looking for there. You don't have to worry about which way the market goes. The market you want is the market that moves. It's as simple as that. Using, an account like Blowfin, we've got the ability to trade in either direction. I know a lot of people struggle with going short. I'm not quite, I know there's a little hook up in the old head there. Well, how do I sell something I don't own? Think of it like this. If you just got to get direction right, that's it. It's not it. That's the first part. You've got to get the direction right, and then you've got to get your how precise you are around your entry, stop loss, and targets. You've got to be taking profits. You've got to be reducing risk. You've got to be managing a portfolio as it's a business, as opposed to just having a punt. And I know a lot of people do just have a punt, and that's not going to help them. And that's why a lot of people don't get good results. I'll throw Rune in the list there as well. Now, given that I am just about out of time, I'll keep ripping through. I don't want to make this too long. Just finding if there's anything else that's available that has a good, strong trend. We'll keep it really, really, really simple. And make sure that, like I say, you join up to Blowfin, you get yourself that access to the Discord community where you'll see much more of this type of thing going down, and you'll learn from myself and other traders that we bring into this Killer Trades suite of traders. It's going to be epic, and your involvement is what's going to make it epic. So get involved, ask questions, and be involved in this process. All right. Just finishing it up Now we're nearly there. Gosh, it's not a great deal. I mean, I think it seems to be like we're in a bit of a holding pattern at the moment with regards to what's going on in Iran with the ceasefire so near. Tron's been in a great trend of late, but there's nothing there right now. Yeah, it seems that there's if we're going up, we're going up in a straight line. Not a lot is really trending that well to the downside at the moment, of course, with that bullish sentiment in the market. It's very much been, for me personally, the long side that's been producing the trades and the outcomes and the results. And you'll see that in markets. They'll swing from side to side from time to time. They will swing around, and you will find that you'll get direction in one way or the other. Not quite enough there just yet either. Here's the Monero breakout, busted out through really, really well. Entry here, stop loss here, very profitable outcome there. Okay, let's have a look at what's in this list. I'll show you Monero. Sorry, that's in the list, but it shouldn't be. What I'm looking at for options today. Let's go to that split screen. Again, it's not going to be today, but this, if it pushes higher, I pull back into that level, so it remains in the list there. Coming in now to Chili's. Have a look at this on the 8. A nice clean pullback into this area, small bullish candle. That's what I'm waiting for. Now, that's going to be later on this afternoon, this evening, or possibly even tomorrow morning. So I've got plenty of time. On to CU. This is a very straightforward one. This will happen relatively quickly. If it's going to happen, I would guess, is that I'm looking for that candle, exactly this setup, but I want it up here. So this has got to pull back into these moving averages and to give me that small bullish candle. That's what I'm waiting for. DEX up next. I'm looking at this on the 16 hour. You can see the cyclicity, you can see the trend. And now we've got to see if this candle in 46 minutes can close bullish. I want it to close a little bit higher, and then I've got an option there for me to consider. ENA on the 16 here as well. Is it the 12? 12 or 16, to be fair, a small bullish candle in here. So naturally, I've got over 12 hours to wait to see if I get that. That will be in the list for today. Home, I've got this on a downtrend. It's again a higher time frame. It needs to pull back a little bit further. I'm not interested on the 8. I'm much more interested on the 12, pulling back up into here. That candle in here, and I've got an option for the short side. Coming back up again to HUMA. We're going to jump down now to this 2 hour, a small bullish candle here. That would be sensational, honestly. The 4 hour too. The 4 hour there is really good. Higher low, higher high, pulling back in a little bullish candle there on the 2 or the 4. This is probably the trade, the time frame that's going to produce first. I really like this chart. This is the pick for me. Next up is, did I show home? Is that what I'm up to? Yes, I did. Jupiter. Looking here on this daily time frame, if that closes a little bit more bullish, that's an option for a trade order as well. And finally in the list is Rune, jumping back down to the, what time frame was it? The 2 hour, I think. A clean pullback into this region right here would offer the trade for certain. So that's what we do. We go through, we look at the market, and we find opportunities for the day. Now, sometimes I'm going to already have the options because I've already looked, and I'll just be able to shoot a video up and show you that watch list immediately. But I thought this was a good way to introduce you to my methodology, the way that I trade, and what we're going to be covering on this channel, the Killer Trades channel, and in Discord. So as always, hit subscribe. You'll find in the description the link to join Blowfin, and then, of course, join up to our Discord community through having that Blowfin account. There are some bonuses available on the Blowfin platform right now for those of you that do open your account there. Share this with your friends and family. If you like this stuff and you think it's going to be good for you, share it around your mates, share it on social media. And really, as I say, we're looking to build something really great together, the best trading network and Discord community on the planet, through being honest, being loyal, and not just saying, take this trade for the sake of increasing trading volume. We're going to educate you, teach you, give you that ability to know what you're looking for. Anyway, from me and the Killer Trades team, have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope you've enjoyed this. Any questions, comments, hit the like button. It's all below. Have a wonderful week, and I'll speak to you soon.